Hey there everybody, it's me, your boy, Paul. And welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Series. So we meet back up today while I'm feeling inspired as always. Inspired as always in particular to leave this farm in the dust. See, I've done it now, but grinding all the way back up to level 30, this has been like essentially the most tedious, painful task of my entire life. Today you find me feeling inspired as always, yet also very anxious about this. Getting to level 30 was a whole act, a feat in itself. Getting another efficiency 4 enchantment? Insanely doable. I'm not anxious anymore. I'm feeling insanely happy because look at this pickaxe right here. For what I'm going to do in today's episode, we're going to need to fix this pickaxe up. We're going to get mending really soon. And we're definitely going to need to set up a better experience farm really soon. But not today. Today, I'm feeling inspired in a completely different way. The beginning of today's episode finds us doing a couple different things, including flexing this APM machine. Look at this thing. Have you ever seen so many potatoes in your life? Potatoes right there, potatoes right there. I think there are some potatoes over there, technically true. And then over here, we have even more potatoes hidden on this cliff. You're jealous right now. You're insanely envious that you didn't put the work in to build this thing. Yeah. Look at this. A pure profit, completely paying off, definitely. Gonna have to set up a trading farm soon. But today, the beginning of the episode finds us heading back down into the mines. But really, I know you're feeling jealous about the APM. Don't feel jealous. Don't worry. We're friends. I will definitely share the potato profits from that machine with you. All you have to do is come and get the potatoes. Trust me, it'll be fine. I won't do anything to you. Just come and get the potatoes and it'll be good. But anyways, here we are, down in my mines. This is something that maybe I showed you like one time before, but other than that one time, I've never really showed you it. So this is my mine. I found diamonds right there. I come down here and I mine deep slate whenever I need deep slate. And oh boy, deep slate. Definitely 100% gonna need deep slate today. So this pickaxe is brand new, feeling fresh. This still needs a better name for sure, but deep slate, this will definitely help us get deep slate quickly. So the other week, something huge happened in the Minecraft community that I'm like basically practically obsessed over to an unhealthy level, honestly. The other week, on the official Minecraft channel, the Secrets of the Warden video was posted. Earlier on, I made a video talking about the Secrets of the Warden, so if you didn't see that one, card on screen, check it out. It will explain everything a lot more. But basically, there were two versions, early prototypes of the Warden that I'm absolutely obsessed with. One of those early Warden concepts is really cool, absolutely disturbing and amazing. I love him. It's called the Trypophobia Warden. The Trypophobia Warden, it looks like, well, imagine some kind of like monster. It looks like an SCP-173. But you don't have to take it from me. Look at this thing right here. This thing is absolutely terrifying, easily my favorite version. And surprisingly, this thing actually makes like demonic cow sounds. Like, trust me, I muted the video so I wouldn't copy strike. But yeah, like demonic cow sounds. If you don't believe me on that part, well, then that's your problem. Now, the Trypophobia Warden is definitely my favorite Warden concept by far, but imagine trying to actually build that thing in Minecraft Survival. Like, it's a super complex looking shape, really strange. Like, how would you even build that? What would you even use? See, those are questions that I actually kind of have the answer to. I know what I would use to build that thing, but how about Warden concept number 2, the Stalker? I maybe actually like the Stalker a little bit more than Trypophobia Warden now. 100% the initial reaction was that of the Warden. It's sweet, it looks like an SCP. I love it, the horror vibes for sure. But time has passed, and I've been thinking about this thing a lot. I've been thinking about this thing so much that I think it's starting to manifest itself in the corner of my room at nighttime. But that's besides the point. That has nothing to do with what we're doing today. At all. Or maybe it does. What does it matter? I'm not afraid of that thing. You're afraid of the thing. I could take that thing on every single day. You're afraid of it. Not me. At all. We're going to need deep slate. The Stalker demands deep slate. If we're going to set one of these things up in our world, deep slate. This is going to be like basically the perfect block. Deep slate tiles, and maybe even smooth basalt too. Now, while I continue to collect deep slate, we need to do a little bit of Stalker analysis here. How much deep slate do we actually need? I've searched strenuously and tediously through all of the archives that we have on this immortal sleep demonic of a being, and I found this image right here. This image right here, it might be cursed, I don't know. Looking at this may give the Stalker the ability to manifest itself into the real world, or not. But it's a risk we have to take. Now, this is a bad-looking version of the Stalker. This is the version of the Stalker that I feel way more in line with, relation to, and inspired by But that image will have to do. It's kind of hard to take a look at this video and break this thing down. I mean, look at the coloring on this thing. It's literally 2 colors. Alright, so I have no choice. We're going to have to run the numbers and crunch the data here. Do a little bit of analyzation to this image right here. Some modifications. Just crunch the numbers on it like I'm saying. Look at it. Do a few modifications to it. The dimensions that we're going to need here. We're going to have to look at each pixel. Pixel by pixel. If only the developers could make these pixels bigger. Pixel by pixel. We look at this thing, break it down, and here we go. Here's what we have after running through all those numbers. 8 pixels wide. That makes sense. It's kind of Minecrafty. And 23 tall? Maybe 23. Maybe it was 24. It doesn't really matter. 24. We'll round it up. Now for this version of the Stalker, 8 blocks wide, 24 blocks tall, just for the head, not including the body that we're definitely going to need to build too. That's absurd. That thing is going to be gigantic, like taller than our mountain practically once I get the body in. Yeah, we're going to have to adjust those numbers. Thankfully, both of those numbers are clean, or I've modified the numbers slightly to make sure they could be clean. I think what we could do is cut this thing in half, so we have 4 wide, 12 tall. That's a little bit more appropriate. That saves room for the body. I think those are dimensions that we could work with perfectly. That's going to be a lot of deep slate, but at the same time, like not too much deep slate in the grand scheme of things. I think maybe if we could get 8 stacks of this stuff, why not 8? 8 is good. We could always use the deep slate more. 8 stacks, and then it's back to the surface for me. Alright, so you're either going to be really happy and proud of me, or you're going to be disappointed in me because I kind of lied. I lost track of time down there. That pickaxe is just really quick. 8 stacks. This is a little bit more than 8 stacks, actually. So right here, this is like 4, then that's basically 8. This is 9, 10. 10 stacks of deep slate for the Stalker. That should be good. Now, small problem. I came back up here. Basalt Brothers Factory has some visitors over there. I don't know, to be honest, if I really want to deal with that right now. So I'm just going to try and not deal with it. They have enchanted bows. Not really my problem right now. So looking around at the landscape here, I'm imagining a Stalker looming off in the distance. We need this thing far away. I think putting it farther away, maybe tucked behind a hill or something, would make this thing feel even taller, even more ominous. I really want an ominous feeling with this thing. So looking around at the land here, hills off in the distance, I think that spot is like basically the perfect spot. Imagine like some kind of tall thing standing right there, a little further back than the potato farm over there. And actually, right by the moon too, look at this. The moon dramatically rises. There's a being standing right in front of the moon, and it's evil. It's like an eclipse. I think that's definitely going to be the build site. We'll break ground in the morning. And now it's morning. You know what that means. So the build. I'm thinking we could set this build maybe like right back here, down below the hill, which means we could start the build off a little bit, then start the cool stuff up a little bit higher, the chest. Then we have like the neck, really long neck going off into the sky. I think it's going to look great. And also, look at the base from over here. I haven't really ever seen the base from over here, especially with all these builds. That's really cool. Like, look at Terry. Look at Terry right there, looking so happy and strong. This thing is going to have a great view of the base. It's going to know exactly where I am at every single second. I don't know if that's good. Alright, so yeah, these 3 blocks right there, that's going to look really good and ruined and old. I want the statue to look old, like it's falling apart. Hasn't been taken care of in a long time because everyone's afraid of it, to be honest. Now, we're going to start with the legs a little bit. I think this thing is meant to be asymmetrical, or it was, or whatever King B-Dog said. So, asymmetrical, that's what we're going to go with here. I've thought a little bit about the width of the body. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 is going to be a good width of the body. This is going to be a leg right here, and it's going to be asymmetrical. So what we're going to do is have one leg be 2 blocks. Very small leg. This is its weak leg. Then we're going to have the other leg be 3 blocks. That's the strong leg. Now, I kind of don't know how to do this, to be honest. I don't know if I should really be like creating this mixture right off the bat here, or if I should just like maybe focus on the tiles or something. That's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this is definitely over the hill. Like that hill right there. I want this thing to be seen. Yeah, let's go with 8. 8 feels pretty good. That's 8 plus the legs. So far we're looking at that. I mean, I think the randomization is fine. I think we could do the randomization as I'm going, I mean, like along with the build. So far, it's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and keep doing that. Yeah. And also, why am I using an iron pickaxe? Oh no, that's really bad. Please don't judge me about that. I'll get rid of it right now. In that Stalker video King B-Dogs tweeted, there was a hole in the chest of the Stalker. That was basically like its mouth or something. That's what I'm thinking for the hole. I changed the hole to a circle. I think circles are far more superior to squares. And I gotta be honest, right now the build is looking a little suspicious for sure, but don't worry. Don't worry. I'll fix it up. It'll look better. I'm starting the head up there. I think I popped the head in one block, add a little bit of depth to this thing, make it look a little bit better. I just have no clue how to actually get up and down this thing. I guess it's like a lot of dirt towers, like up and down and back and forth, but I mean, I guess it works. And then up here at the top of this thing, wherever I put its face, I have a different idea. I think this is going to be cool. I think it's going to make this thing look a little bit more interesting. We're going to add a face to this thing. I like the version of the Stalker the most without the face, but I think we could add a face on it and make it look even more cool from a distance. It's all about the views with this build, so add a face, personal touch, make it more customized, and then definitely, for sure, with a face, it'll be able to see everything that I'm doing at every single second, every single moment, and that will please him. It will make it happy. Now we're also going to need arms on this thing. Referring back to the known sighting that we have of this being, one arm is a little bit shorter than the other arm. I'm thinking what we could do is have this arm over here be the shorter arm. The arms don't really need to be the biggest things in the world, maybe like 2 blocks thick. That should probably be good. But with this being the short arm, maybe what we do is we have this thing go down to like the bottom of the hole right there, make that look good, and then of course we'll make this thing like a little older looking, but the short arm right there on that side. And then over here, the big guy. We'll have this arm maybe go down to that random spot that I just picked right there, right now. Hopefully that'll be good. The arms are set back a little bit more, add some more depth to the build, of course. And then this arm, because it's so long, I think I'm going to try and make it a little bit thinner, maybe. I don't know if that's really going to pay off and look good, so if it looks terrible, I'll change it. You won't even know. But the thing is, with this arm, is it's meant to be in line with the head, and I have the head sitting right there. Maybe that means I should move the head out, but also I feel like the head, like right there, I think it's going to look better. The eyes on the being comes really naturally to me. Of course, this thing is looking into your soul. The only way to look into a soul, a void of darkness. Assuming everything that we've done so far is making sense and looking good, which, to be honest, is a gigantic gamble, that brings us to the buns. The Stalker has 2 buns, or siren head antennas, sensors. Whatever they are, the Stalker has 2 of them, 1 on each side of the head, and they're uneven. Soul is void of a face, uneven buns on either side of the thing. Looks weird from the bottom of the thing. Definitely looks weird, but I think if maybe we get like a further view of this thing, I think we're actually pulling it off. Like, I think so far, this is exactly what we need for a Stalker. Like, definitely. Maybe what we could do is, yeah, definitely finish the buns. Finish the rest of the thing, make it like a solid unit. Unit this thing up, maybe chip away some of the stuff to make it look really old and add extra piles of things, and then I think we've done it. Like, I think that's pretty good. Definitely should chip away some of the stuff on the head, though. Maybe some of the stuff on the buns, too. But yeah, I think for a Stalker, that's kind of what we're going for. Like, that's kind of almost exactly the vision. Well, we make a little bit of progress on today's gigantic Stalker. There isn't a more perfect time to look at today's meme of the day. Now, today's meme of the day isn't as much a meme as it is beautiful, a perfect looking generation. This generation right here, Waddle Speaks. This is like one of the most nice looking things that I've ever seen, including the seed number right there, a very nice looking seed number. Eddie Map Creator 2, this is a good submission. This is a really nice submission. I have no clue of your methods and how you would find something like this, but it's great. Definitely nice work. Keep it up for sure. Also, while we work on the Stalker, I'd like to talk about this thing a little bit. This thing is absolutely amazing. I really like this thing and all of the other Warden concepts because so many of them remind me of SCPs, and I love SCPs. This thing reminds me of Siren Head, which I guess technically isn't an SCP, but I also love Siren Head. It also gives me Slenderman vibes because it's so thin and tall and just great looking. The Stalker has since been completely scrapped, but I would honestly love to see this thing, like, make it into the game in some form, because the concept was so cool. Like, the mob, it looks weird and different and just strange, unnatural, and then how it can, like, transform and crawl. Yeah, that's some, like, nightmare fuel. That's terrifying stuff, and I don't like it at all, but I like it so much that I really wish this thing could come back into the game at some point. Definitely not replace the Warden. The Warden is its own thing, but, like, a Stalker. Actually, matter of fact, developer, if you're watching this, hear me out. Here's the idea. Warden is the Warden, and the Stalker, it gets added to the game And wait for it, the stalker is the stalker. Yes, I know, a great idea. Thank you so much. Perfect timing, really. You couldn't come back at any moment that would be better. As the moon begins to rise, the stalker looms in the distance. Look at this thing. I've added a ton of details to the thing. I've made it decay, like, a lot. And I've basically finished, like, the main part of the build. There are, like, 2 more things that we need to do to the build. Fill that center hole in, make it look a little bit more interesting. Come up with a use for the build. Which I think I have good plans for, like, both of those things. Can't do those things at nighttime, though, so gonna need to fix that. But Stalker? Yep. Stalker? Exactly what I was going for. Yep. Exactly what I was going for. Exactly. You look good. I think it's gonna be hard not to get distracted, like, moving around, just stopping and looking at this thing. I love sceneries and, like, the backdrops of things, and yep, scenery, backdrops, plus creepy vibes. This thing is staring at me right now. Yes, that's exactly it. But, anyways, it's time to go back down into the mines. Correction. It's time to go over to this random lava pit over here that I've been slowly draining. This is perfect. This will work exactly it. So that's cool, but can we see the stalker from the tree farm? We can. We can definitely see the stalker from the tree farm. And this actually proves my point exactly. Like, don't get me wrong, the build is tall, but, like, from farther away, the build, I don't know, to me, from farther away, the build looks even more massive than it actually is. Like, don't get me wrong, really tall, probably like 30 blocks or something, but, like, 30 isn't the most in the grand scheme of things. From over here, that's a massive stalker. So rewind to right before the episode. Before the episode, I not only got all the way back up to level 30, but I also went back down into the dripstone caves. Pointed dripstone is the next stop that we're going to need to make. And then cauldrons. When I set up a build in the world, usually I like to try and come up with a use for it. Like, we have the nether portal build, we have the basalt farm, we have this bee farm build right there, which we'll check on at some point. And then we have this build. And right now, doesn't exactly have a use. Doesn't have a use until this moment right here. Cauldron right there, cauldron right there. Then we need to climb up here and swap those blocks out for dripstone. I left all the dripstone inside of the ship. I actually have solid blocks of this stuff, so there we go. That was convenient. I don't have a lava farm set up in this world, and actually, I keep using this stuff. I think what I'd like to do is try and turn this into a small lava farm. So we put the dripstone, move it one over, we put the dripstone there and there, we put lava above it. The lava will slowly drip down into the cauldron, so I can come back over here every once in a while and get lava from the stalker. What a nice stalker. Who would have thought? Thankfully, spikes don't need to go all the way down. I think like 3 blocks is probably going to be good. Those are some pretty good spikes. Then maybe to make this thing look even more interesting, more spikes. More spikes because why not? But also because that video. Clearly, we have some kind of weird moving tentacle thing in the middle of this thing. I assume that's its mouth. Moving weird tentacle thing. Yeah, I don't exactly have a block for that. But I do have dripstone. Now up top, up here to actually make this thing work, gonna have to modify the build a little bit more. Maybe we could pile that up like that. Then the lava can go right there, and then I guess maybe to finish it off, we could do like that. Hopefully it doesn't like ruin the build and make it look really strange. I'll check it in a second, but I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. The build is meant to look ruined anyways, right? See, I think if we had a couple of strategic dripstone pieces inside of this thing, it's gonna make it look really, really evil from far away. And look at this. I literally have just enough. That's perfect. Pointed dripstone inside of the body. Does it work? Yeah. I think it works. I think that definitely works. That definitely looks like some kind of open mouth. That definitely looks really, really ominous and creepy. And it definitely will form lava too. I think the neck is fine too with the modifications that I made to it. Looks good. Checks out. Looks perfect. That's almost it. You know, I really like the change in 1.18 so you can actually see the weather a little bit more, but at the same time, it kind of feels like it's just like constantly raining. Like, I practically can't see a thing. Wait, what is that in the distance? That can't be. It couldn't be, right? Certainly not. No, my eyes deceive me. Certainly not. We'll need to clear up the weather. Great temple that controls the weather, please clear it up. And clear up the weather right now. There's absolutely no way. There's no way at all. Checked all of the archives. It couldn't be, right? It couldn't be. It is. I mean, yes, that definitely is a stalker. Looming, watching, waiting. There's no mistaking it at all. And I gotta be honest, I'm glad I got suited up for this occasion because that is one attractive looking stalker too.
Like, look at the thing. It's so sturdy and tall and strong, just ominously looking into the void.
Yeah, that's a stalker. That's a prime of the crop stalker right there. Right inside of our world too. That's our stalker. Together alone at golden hour 2, look at you, you're so strong. So to make the stalker fit in a little bit more, I came in and terraformed, put a little bit of coarse dirt, some bushes there, some rocks as well, and then I even tried to build like a dead tree right there, trying to make this thing fit in a little bit more, but at the same time, I mean, you gotta be realistic at the same time. How do you make something like this actually fit in? Trick question. You don't make it fit in. It will never fit in, and that's fine. So there we go, just like that, we have one of the most interesting and best concepts of the Warden ever inside of our world, looming, watching over the mountain, watching over the entire base, ensuring our safety, or hopefully ensuring our safety, something like that, forever. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this episode, or if you didn't, make sure you go down below the video and leave a like, it really helps the videos out huge time. What do you think about the stalker? Say something nice down below. And finally, a word of advice, remember, never let the stalker in. Don't look directly at the stalker, and don't let it inside, even if it asks nicely. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.